All right, what's up, guys? So it's being a little bit until I upload a part of something part two. Now it's not because I've actually just stopped uploading it or stop making stuff for it. It's primarily because school started up. So now things are like, oh yo, you got priorities. And sadly, since YouTube doesn't make me money, I can't prioritize it. I can only consider it a hobby for the most part. So with that being said, I have been making things. I've been making small assets for a part of something part two. As you can see up here, I made some enemies. I made some uh, some weapon summons, some new ability enhancers. I even have all of the numbers ready to go. All right, they all look nice. They all animate the same. They're all the same exact frame data for the most part. They look really good. Okay, I'm gonna bring them all out on screen, honestly. But yeah, for the most part, I've just been making asset after asset after asset. And honestly, honestly speaking, I am quite pleased with the assets I have made. And I'm guessing from those who just start looking all over the screen, you can kind of see what I've already been working on for the most part, besides of what I already showed you or what I already mentioned just now. Sorry, excuse me, I'm a little rough with the voice. Also, it's late. So let's start straight from the top. The robots, all right? The robot animations. The robot animations are kind of off a little bit, but the ones on bottom are the old ones. The ones on top are the new ones. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure I used the old ones in a video recently, and I was just showing them off for a little bit to see how they would pretty much work. I was using that video as a test to see how those robots would look and how they would operate. Honestly speaking, they did not operate bad. Like, honestly, they really didn't. All right. But there were a couple of issues. Issue one, all right. This guy, not this guy, this guy, all right. This thing has such a long start animation just to pull out one attack. So I make my character attack extremely fast. Like, we're talking about 3 frames, 2 frames between each attack max. All right. If I'm unlucky, maybe 5 to 6. So I like making them fight fast. Okay. It's what I do. All right. This guy, 9 frames to pull out an attack and 14 to 15 frames to fully end the actual attack. 16 frames to fully end the attack and restart. That is a whole second of attack right there. Now that is not a long time in any other game, but since I run off of 16 frames per second, that's really long. All right, that's like a move taking a whole second to come out. It's just really slow. All right. As for everything else, they're the exact same, but one's animated, one's not. So one has the first frame and nothing else, and one has all the rest of the frames. This is a death animation. This is a walk animation. These are the powered down animations. They're both the same once again, but one actually has an animation in which it powers up and then it goes into this phase right here, which is the powered up phase. And on the top, it's pretty much the exact same, except there is no death animation and there's like 3 hit animations. The death animation I still need to make. So we have a hit middle, a hit high, and a hit low. So basically, if he gets hit in the body, hit in the head, and hit in the legs, there are 3 different animations that are fully animated for it, or primarily animated for it. We have a walk animation. We have an attack animation. Wait, which one's the attack and which one's the walk? They all look the same to me. All right. Yeah, we have the walk and then the attack animation and powered down and then powered up. Or sorry, one of these are the powered down. One of these are okay. That one's the powered up. This one's powered down. I'm sorry, I'm very confused. They kind of look the same. I didn't make them really distinct. Their subtle differences are kind of off-putting sometimes and confusing. But I'll animate them now. The only issue with animating them all together is the sheer fact that they all kind of just do their own thing. And one of the animations are clipping in that which I don't want. We'll face that one down. All right. So As you can see, the hit middle, hit high, and hit low look off. But honestly, I wanted them to look like that because when you're being ragdolled, I doubt you look normal. All right, especially if you're being hit in an animation, I gotta make you look like something's wrong. And this is a robot, so fluid movement isn't needed. He can look really janky, and it'll still work for the most part because that's how how robots move. Honestly, they look really stiff when they do everything. The walk animation is honestly not supposed to look like that, but when I saw it play out, I was like, honestly, that makes it look more like a robot. Gives it more life for some reason. The attack animation is straightforward, honestly. It looks really nice. I'm surprised it came out that fluid. The powered up animation is whatever. It's literally him just going from the very last animation on the right to that phase, you know? So the the one on top is, for the most part, is completely finished. Now, as you can see on the bottom is kind of stiff in it. It like has like no life in anything. As you can see for the walk animation, which is the one that's completely still with the sword out, not the one getting hit, or the one that's like bent over. It just doesn't even have a real walk animation. It's just the little dials on the bottom of the wheels, if you will, are turning in circles. That's it. It's just one of the more. It's stiff. It's very stiff, and I didn't like it. All right, so that's why we added the ones on top. I might keep these guys just for like little core enemies that can get destroyed. And this guy needs a death animation, which I have to figure out. But you can see the big vast improvement when it comes to it. All right, I would show them all one by one, but if you guys want to see that just in a different video, I'll do it. For now, I'm just gonna skim past, even though it took 6 minutes, 6 minutes already. All right, the numbers. The numbers have the exact same frame data. It's nothing special, right? They're just numbers. I did them in the little style of, like 16-bit games for the most part, just to make them look nice. All right. They all have the exact same frame data. They also have the same coming animation, so they look exactly the same, but they look good doing it. All right. By the way, the reason why I made them all separate is so that way I can do stuff like this. So if, let's say, the character has a sword that applies 16 damage, now I can just add 16 like this, and it'll still look like a 16, or a sword that does 162, or this. All right. I can literally just keep mashing numbers together, and now it will work. Right? And I like that. I like how I can just mash the numbers together, and they will indeed work. That's what was the goal, honestly. The goal was that. Also, there's a 0 here. There's supposed to be a 0. I just didn't add it, and there's a minus, which is just a rectangle. Honestly, I just didn't add it yet. This is the exact same, so no big deal. Now the blast. All right. The fire blast on top is the old one. The fire blast on the bottom is the new one. I'm pretty sure those who have barely seen the one on bottom understand this. So the thing with this, all right, some dude suggested this a very long time ago, fire blast, all right. I didn't make a fire blast. I reused an asset that simulated a fire blast. And honestly speaking, the fire blast isn't just one animation, it's two. So let's let these play. All right. As you can see, there is no actual blast for the fire blast top. It's just like an end animation, right? Now, what I used to do is just put a yellow line where that blast is, and that's the actual blast. That that worked out for the most part, right? But it's lackluster. As you can see, it looks quiet. It looks very weak, and it's very tiny in comparison. These on their normal size are extremely small, okay? And as they should be, they're handheld blasts. But the one on top is just super weak looking. And honestly, if I was to match it with anything else, it would be completely overpowered. It would not look like a fire blast. It would just look like whatever if I don't leave it by itself or make a bunch of them. The one on the bottom, however, is a blast. It looks like it would be loud to me, honestly. I feel like it's very well animated. I like how it looks. I feel like you're in the right situation, it'll come out right. And for the most part, I want to say they both have the same, frame data. I believe the blast comes out like, what is it? It comes out frame 6. That's a fast blast. This one comes out frame 5. This one comes out frame 6. So that means this is slower, but it looks way better. And honestly, the one frame difference isn't that big of a difference. So that's Flame Blast. On to the weapons. The weapons have not received a change. They just received an add-on, honestly, because I wanted to make a new weapon. This is the old summon ability. It's the still current summon ability as well. It's not been changed at all. This is the add-on for the sword when I feel like upgrading it or giving it a special. It just becomes bigger sword, okay? And the thing about these is in the actual animations, when I'm finished using the startup animation for this to summon the sword, I actually made it one animation so that way I can actually use the weapon and keep its size and look consistent. So these are set weapons, right? This is a technique I came up with where you make the actual animation movie clip one cycle and reuse whatever's left of it in your actual animation to keep consistency. I've been doing this for a long time, and honestly, it's worked out for the consistency's sake. It's how I keep my animation, and the animation's weapons consistent, and I can also do it using specialized stick figures. So like, let's say I'm making a stick figure with like a tail or giant arms or some weird proportions. I would do the exact same thing in which I make it already pre-made and I can just break it apart and then I can just start using it like I want. All right. Now, with those out the way, let's get on to the last stuff. The shop and the little small special point thing. This is kind of miscellaneous, but I'll add it in anyway. The shop has no animation to it. Literally, it's just this, right? Now, the thing that makes it different is the sheer fact that I will be adding a title screen and a character that changes forms all the time, all right? So there will be no consistent shopkeeper. He will change forms. I don't care what anyone says, all right? By the way, the reason I made it like that is because I want you guys to suggest a look for the shopkeeper every single time because I'm able to add these guys' clothes and I'm able to do it pretty okay. You know, I can add details to them. I just have to actually do it, and it takes time. All right. As you can see, these weapons here, by the way, at some point I will take the weapons out, meaning the dude will buy the weapon, and the weapon will disappear from the shop. All right. And until he replaces the weapon will stay gone. So the shop will have basically multiple phases. Also, these items, everything here will be interactable. So bro can walk up, buy the shield, the daggers, the spells, this ability right here, which is the enhance ability from the first part of something, like the very first, right? And this is the special point. The special point is something I used already, but it's just to make the little special point spawn in better. Honestly, it's not really a big animation. All right. I'll move this aside because there's one more thing I want to add for the special shop. All right. This can go. And then this dude. This I am working on the side, like the side. This I'm trying to make a detailed version of the gauntlet users, of the gauntlet user, right? I'm telling you now that is hard. I have no idea what I'm doing. And as you can see, it takes a very long time for anything to happen with this. All right, it's just a stand cycle. That's it. It's just a standing cycle. It's nothing big. It's also not very good. It's pretty stiff. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to show for the most part. All right. Now, for my last bit, let's talk about the shop. This shop right here, all right, as I said before, is how most of the items that have been suggested in the comment section will be acquired. Now, for the abilities, all right, the abilities will end up as like scrolls or pieces of paper or books that are draping from here or that appear in the background. They'll all have their own little special icon, and the moment that someone actually suggests a book or weapon, at some point I'll make the character or red buy that weapon or that ability, okay? And there is a currency system and a money system inside the game. There's already assets for it. I just don't use them. All right. I call them it's green gems, honestly. These I used before, and I believe there's some coins like gold coin and yeah, silver coin. Apparently I don't have gold coin in here, but these are the monies, if you will. All right. I think they look pretty good. They're simplistic, but you get the point. They're cash, okay? It's money. Also, I'll be improving this one. This one looks a little weak. It's just a circle. But yeah, so once again for the shop, this is you guys' community item, if you will, in the animations. When you see this item, that means the community can now suggest an item and you might see it show up. All right. So by the way, all of these items here already, except for like maybe one or two of them, or maybe yeah, actually like maybe four, are actually from the community. This sword is the flame sword, the one that's someone suggested this weapon primarily for flame attacks. So flame slash, the flame blast, fire blast. The person who's been suggesting flame attacks, this is your sword. The person who suggested the hammer and the gauntlets are also from the community as well. The daggers are also from the community, and this item right here, which is enhanced, also is from the community. Buddy and this shield, I don't know if it's from the community. These items, I also don't know if it's from the community, because this, if it was pink, this would be the Juggernaut ability that someone suggested a very long time ago. All right, and this is just a health potion. Someone suggested that item. This has nothing in it yet. Someone has to suggest an item for that. Someone has to suggest something for this item. So I'll be looking forward to that. So this is the community item. All right. Suggest anything that you could think of that has relevance to a game, and it will pop up on this item in the animation at least one time, the very least once. Okay. And it will be used. I will make sure of it. All right. Okay, I think that's everything that needs to be said. You guys know what to do. Hit that comment section with all of your ideas, and I'll try my best to animate them.